He's not Robin. His name is Taylor. He has been chased, beaten, arrested, and ordered to go home. He's not Robin. He can't be. For those who are, there is now one less. Damian Wayne has joined the Court of the Owls. He tells his former companions that it's over. They have no idea what has happened, what they are facing, or what Damian had to do to save them all. But it doesn't matter. It's over. Damian is now the Dark Heir, and these children need to go home and play with their toys. Duke Thomas is unimpressed and thinks he understands. The Owls did all of this just as part of a recruitment effort. But Thomas doesn't believe Damian's words. He knows better. Damian repeats his last command, but the Robins stand their ground. Jason Todd says things are just getting started, and a brawl begins. Deep in the underground, Dick Grayson looks on in disbelief. He demands an explanation for how they got to Damian, and Lincoln March tells him everything. Damian came to them. Of course he fought them, as he fights everyone. But while he battled with the Talons, March told the young man how the elite Talons were a fail-safe plan for the Owls. If they ever truly lost control over Gotham, they were to be activated. They would destroy what was lost. They told Damian how the failure to procure a gray sun meant a failure of the court to control Gotham. Everything would have to burn, even poor unprotected Bruce Wayne. So an offer was made, and an offer was accepted. Meanwhile, Taylor is playing video games, trying desperately to keep his mind off of what is going on. But he keeps getting messages from the other Robins that were sent home. Something is happening at Gotham Academy. The Robins are facing a battle, and some of the others want to help. But the rest of them are confident the originals can handle this. After all, they are Robin. Over at the Academy, the battle rages on. Damian is able to knock down both Jason Todd and Tim Drake. He insists he is no longer Robin, and once again demands that the trainees go home. When they refuse, he knocks them all out with ease. But Duke Thomas gets up and says things aren't over just yet. Dick Grayson demands that the Owls let Damian go, or he swears he will burn this whole place to the ground. Unafraid, Lincoln March instead makes the man an offer. He presents Grayson with the Nightwing mask and taunts him over this, saying they have been watching Dick for a very long time. He asks if Grayson really thinks this is all just a coincidence. Sure, a bat flies at night, but he was never really comfortable with taking that mantle. Can't you think of another creature that flies at night? Anything come to mind? The cops arrive on the scene, surrounding the deployed Robins. The ones sent home begin to panic. This is going to be a slaughter. They have to do something. This is war. Damian and Duke are locked in a fierce battle while the elite Talons savagely attack the cops. The others ask what to do, and Taylor finally speaks out. Rise or stand down. The choice is always yours, but if you stand down now, you are no Robin. So it is time to decide. Who are you? They are Robin. As they fight, Duke reveals that he figured out Damian a long time ago. He knows that the boy is Batman's son. The son Bruce no longer remembers, because Batman sacrificed everything he had. And now Damian is doing the same thing. The younger Wayne says that Duke doesn't know him, but Thomas thinks that Damian doesn't know himself. Duke understands Damian's actions. He'd probably do the same thing himself. But there's a difference between these two. Duke is not Robin. Damian is. Meanwhile, Grayson is taken to fighting Lincoln, but the Owl is unconcerned. March explains how they can kill Damian thanks to some nanotechnology in his mask. The nanobots have been planted into the boy's skin, so now his life is in the Owl's hands. But the choice is, and always has been, Grayson's. Taylor knocks over one of the elite Talons, but the being is quick to recover and tries to attack the young boy. Fortunately, the Talon is kicked down. Badly beaten, Duke looks on as the Robins rally, and, joined by the new Batman, the tide begins to turn. Not long ago, March was disgraced in the eyes of the Owls. A failure to the world, locked up and forgotten, until he thought of this plan. So they had the cage built. One of their agents staged a liquor store robbery to turn the public against the Robins. They planned everything, and soon enough, the Gray Sun returned. Then they made one of the absurd Robins join the Owls, and when he did, they would trade him for the one they really want. It was a well-executed plan that has led perfectly to this moment. Now all the Gray Sun has to do is say the words. The elite talons will go away, the Robin laws will go away, and as long as the new Gray Sun stays loyal, Damian will live. Learn who you are, accept who you are, then save who you can. Isn't that the lesson of every myth in Gotham? An offer is being made. It should be accepted. All Grayson has to do now is say the words. Later, in the Batcave, the original Robins recover from a hell of a fight. They demand to know where Dick was during all of this, and Grayson explains how he was getting all the evidence they need to put Councilwoman Noctua in jail. Nobody will believe her story about the Owls, but that will have to be another fight for another day. The others are still not impressed by this. Tim points out that Grayson lied to them and locked them up, and Jason is furious that Grayson now just expects them to jump right back into this like nothing happened. Damian says that punch-in-the-face Robin and driven into the ground Robin are right, and demands to know why they would ever accept this. Grayson says the answer is simple. Because they did it for Batman. Because Dick did it for Bruce too. And because now, Grayson does all of this for them. In the Gotham Cemetery, some of the Robins pay a visit to Travis. They won, but Duke says he can't do this anymore. They're eager when they should be scared. They're scared when they should be eager. They're not Robin. Later on, he goes to a dark alleyway, and Duke remembers a song. He knows Damian is watching, and goads the boy out of hiding. Reluctantly, Robin says hello. Duke points out it is early in the evening, and Damian probably won't have anybody to kick for a few hours. He asks if Wayne wants to go see a movie, and Damian is displeased. He's Robin. He doesn't go see movies, and he doesn't like Duke. But once again, Thomas knows better, and says he does. Damian agrees, and they set out to the movies. But he makes it clear that he is Robin. He doesn't eat popcorn.
The High Court of Gotham calls this meeting to order. As you are all aware, we are witnesses today, as we have been witnesses on countless previous days. We come together to see the placing of the mask. We ask now if the subject is willing to accept the covenant. Here, in front of us all, say the words.
I'm not Robin.
Welcome, Gray Son of Gotham. Welcome to the Parliament of Owls.
Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and this is my recap and review of Robin War number 2. And we're done. That wasn't too shabby at all, if I do say so myself. This was a well-written comic overall and a lot of fun. There's lots to like here. I love the other Robins gradually talking themselves back into action. I really like Damian and Duke's showdown and how that evolved into them kind of sparking a friendship at the end of this story. And the ending overall does stick with me. I admit it is pushing Dick's character a bit to be turning on his friends like this, but it really feels like he doesn't have a choice. I mean, they have a bomb implanted in Damian's face for crying out loud. So it's an interesting development, and on the whole, Robin War does a lot more good than it does bad. Now, the Court of the Owls and their plans are a little crazy, to say the least. But crazy elaborate plans are kind of par for the course with these guys. So, I don't know, that never really bothered me. Regardless, Robin War number 2, and pretty much every comic in the story that precedes it, does feel a little disjointed. The art jumps all over the place because of just how many people are involved in this comic, but it all works fairly well here to tell a neat story reflecting Robin as a mantle and what that means, the current situation in Gotham and what that means, and a new direction for Dick Grayson, Duke Thomas, and Damian Wayne. On the whole, I like these developments and did enjoy the comic, so I would recommend Robin War number 2. It was a good comic worth getting, and on the whole, I recommend the entire Robin War with it. It was a fun event, it gave us a nice feel of the other Gotham-based titles currently being published by DC, and it didn't drag out too long to the extent I never felt bored or sick of this story. Joey was nice enough to put together a complete reading order of Robin War on our website if you're interested. It's a nice way to get a full scope of this event and which comics to read when. We have the link in the video description to all of our Robin War videos, so be sure to check it out. Also, now is as good a time as any to mention that I have a YouTube channel of my own. Historically, I don't use it much, but me and my buddy have been posting Let's Plays and we're enjoying ourselves there, so if you're interested, be sure to check it out. The link to my channel is in the video description, and I also comment with that channel, so it's pretty easy to find it. Just keep in mind that unlike Comic Island, my videos are largely uncensored, so parental discretion is advised. And remember that whatever views I express in those videos don't reflect Comic Island as a whole. It's just me and my buddy having fun and enjoying ourselves. And that's all. Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.